The 2006 Noida serial murder shook India to its core. A quiet suburb in Noida, Uttar Pradesh, became the scene of one of the most horrific crime sprees in modern Indian history. Over a span of 2 years, multiple children and young women disappeared, only for the truth to be uncovered in the most terrifying way possible. Today, we revisit this gruesome case, detailing the investigation, the victims, and the people behind these unspeakable acts. In 2005, residents of Natari village in Noida started noticing something strange. Children were disappearing. Most of the victims were from poor families, and their disappearances initially didn't draw much attention from the police. Parents filed reports, but the missing cases were often ignored, dismissed as runaways or accidents. Months passed, and the number of missing children rose. Families began to panic, but no one could imagine the horrors hidden just behind closed doors in this quiet neighborhood. Everything changed on December 29, 2006. The police raided the home of a local businessman, Maninder Singh Pander, and his domestic servant, Surinder Kohli, after receiving a tip from the family of a missing girl. What they found behind the walls of Pander's bungalow horrified the nation. Body parts, bones, skulls, scattered across the backyard and stuffed in drains, the remains of children and young women who had vanished over the previous 2 years. It became clear that these were not isolated cases of missing persons, but victims of a serial killer duo operating in plain sight. As the investigation progressed, a horrifying picture began to form. Surinder Kohli, the domestic help, confessed to kidnapping, sexually assaulting, and murdering several children and young women. He lured them into the house, often offering them food or money, before committing unspeakable acts of brutality. His confessions revealed not just murder, but acts of necrophilia and cannibalism, details that shocked the nation. Maninder Singh Pander, his employer, was also arrested, although his involvement in the murders remains debated to this day. Pander claimed to have been unaware of Kohli's actions, but many believed that he too was complicit in these horrifying crimes. News of the Noida serial murders spread like wildfire across the country. Public outrage grew, as people questioned how such horrific acts could go unnoticed for so long. The local police were accused of negligence and corruption, failing to investigate earlier complaints seriously. Protests erupted outside police stations, with people demanding justice for the victims. The media dubbed the case the Natari killings, and as more details emerged, the nation struggled to come to terms with the sheer brutality of the crimes. The victims' families, already devastated, were left to mourn the loss of their children under unimaginably cruel circumstances. The legal proceedings were long and complicated. Kohli confessed to his crimes, leading to his conviction in several cases. He was sentenced to death multiple times, but the appeals process kept delaying his execution. Maninder Singh Pander's role in the killings, however, remained controversial. While Kohli insisted that Pander was unaware of the crimes, others believed that Pander was involved, especially given that some victims were last seen entering his house. In 2014, Pander was acquitted in one case, but Kohli's death sentences continued to pile up. The families of the victims found little solace in the legal proceedings, still mourning their children and battling for justice. The Noida serial murders will forever be remembered as one of the darkest chapters in India's crime history. It exposed the vulnerabilities of the poor, the negligence of authorities, and the terrifying depths of human cruelty. Even today, the case serves as a grim reminder of the importance of vigilance, justice, and the need for accountability within the system. As we look back on the horrors of Natari, we must also remember the victims, innocent children and women who lost their lives in the most tragic way. May their stories continue to remind us of the importance of standing against injustice and ensuring that such atrocities are never repeated. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with more true crime stories. Let's continue to remember the victims and ensure that their stories are never forgotten.